بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد. ولو أن للذين ظلموا ما في الأرض جميعا لافتدوا به من سوء العذاب يوم القيامة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us in this surah that we have been reciting, in Surah Al-Zumar, and the Zumar is like the groups that they come into the day of judgment, the group of the believer and the group of the disbeliever, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described in the end of the surah. وَلَوْ أَنَّ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. For those who transgress themselves, those who wrong themselves, if the whole earth, everything that is on the planet earth, it's their property, if they have it, they will have give it as, subhanallah, as a ransom or as a fidya or as a price to save themselves, to save their soul in the day of judgment. وَلَوْ أَنَّ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. If those who wrong themselves, they own the whole earth, they will give it away just for one thing, to be saved from the doom of the punishment of hellfire. That's why in the other ayah in Surah Ali Imran, if the whole earth, the capacity of earth in gold, He will give it away. And Allah will not accept it. So you see, one hasana in your record, more valuable than the whole earth in gold. Huh? Because if you have the whole earth in gold, what is going to go? It will not go beyond your grave. The hasana will. So you see, when the Prophet ﷺ telling you 2 rak'ah that you offer before Salat al-Fajr is better than the whole world, is real better than the world. وَلَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى. He does not speak out of, subhanallah, ﷺ, out of his whims. One. Second, it's not like a parable. It's not like mithal is better in a way, like a greater. Who said, yes, I mean, a kind of a figure of speech. No, it's real. It's real. One hasana better than the whole earth. The capacity of earth in gold. That's what it means. وَلَوْ أَنَّ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. They have the whole earth. They own it. Did you hear in the whole history of humankind that someone owned the whole earth? Huh? There was a person who was very rich. So his daughter thought that her father can buy anything. She looked at the map and she saw like small place by the sea. She said, can you buy me this, Dad? He looked, he said, that's a country. It has its people, it has its flag, it has its cover. We cannot buy it. The moral of the story, even if someone has money, will not be able to buy everything. And subhanAllah, imagine you have the whole earth and it will not accept it from a person as a fidya, as a way to price it, as to give it away, to free themselves. And that's what we calling in the dua, begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, اعتق رقابنا من النار. Free our neck, which is free our soul from the hellfire. Because if you take your whole saving, lifetime saving, don't eat anything, don't do anything, and you'll be saving, how much you going to save? You're not going to save the whole capacity of earth in gold. Then it's not going to help you to save yourself. So only save you, subhanAllah, your begging to Allah, your submission to Allah, your dua, your way how you treat yourself by honoring yourself. So you come on the day of judgment being honored and accepted and embraced in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today, a person think, for example, to be, okay, we'll pray, alhamdulillah, but have you thought that to be like truly close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's like being close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is an option that only for the people who are very devoted. And those devoted, we call them worshipper, we call them arifin, we call them abidin. It's like it's not for us. You are busy with your work, you have a lot of things. Alhamdulillah, you pray and you're good. But as we're reading the Quran, nothing is like moving us. I mean, earlier we were talking about hellfire. I see the faces like the first time they hear about the hellfire. This is the Quran, which is mean we have locks on our heart. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. So you read such a thing in the Quran, doesn't scare you, like you go like over it. It's like it's not you, that does not concern you. That's for the kuffar, for the killers, for the thing. No, it's concern you because you are reading it. Subhanallah, everyone from those doomed wal-iyadu billah, when they see the punishment, they wish to be not righteous. They wish to be muhsin. You know what is ihsan? It's the highest level of the iman. It's the highest level. قال يقول لو أن لي كرة, if Allah had guided me, I would have been from the righteous people. قال ولكن, when he sees the punishment, قال if I have كرة, if I have another opportunity to go back and work, I will be from the muhsinin. He didn't say muttaqin, he said muhsinin, which is the peak of taqwa. Why? Because now he's laid open for him, he's seeing like the adhab, the punishment in front of him. He's seeing like hellfire roaring and calling him. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Then he's going to see from the muhsinin. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Mu'adh, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Mu'adh. He ordained him to be from the muhsinin. Therefore, to be from the muhsinin, it's not that you attain ihsan. That's Allah's gift to you. But to be on the path of the muhsinin is an obligation. Because you want to cleanse yourself. You are motivated. It's like someone, he's going to, subhanAllah, taking, he's studying, and they're going to take exam by the end of the year or the end of the semester. They study seriously. But are they going to get A? No, it depends. The same thing. You have to be on the path of the muhsinin, of the ihsan, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you see him. And if you don't see him, be certain that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala watching you. That's the definition of the ihsan that the Prophet ﷺ has told us and taught us when it comes to the worship. So you have to be on that path. Are you going to attain it or not? That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessing on you. How the capacity of your striving, how much serious you are, it depends on the time. In Ramadan, you'll be able to come to the ihsan. It's easy for everyone if you truly ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Allah. There's one element that is very important for us if you wanted to make it very practical, which is because when you come to the Day of Judgment, the scariest part in the ayah that I have mentioned, you don't know what you're going to find. You don't know. It's like you took an exam and you don't know. You thought that you did good, but maybe the domain that you were like in the math, you were working on something like very far from even the domain in which the question had been given, which is like you don't have anything. The property that you have been using is not working, and it will not even fit into the problem that you are, trying to solve. Imagine you come to the Day of Judgment, and it's like be like that. Abu al-Hasan al-Zahid, he came to read this ayah, whole night was crying, a whole night. His family, they were like so concerned, but they have so much respect, they cannot like disturb him. What they're going, he's in Qiyamul Layl, they said, what happened to you? He's crying. They sent to one of his close friends, they said, can you come see your brother? He's weeping. He cannot even sleep, something happened to him. He came to him and he said, who's there? He said, so-and-so. He said, marhaban bik, come. He said, what happened to you? You've been like weeping the whole night. He said, Wallah, it's an ayah of the Quran. He said, ayah of the Quran make you to do this? He said, yes. He said, what is this ayah? قَالَ وَلَوْ أَنَّ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. If they have the whole thing in the earth, Allah will not accept it from them. But قَالْ وَبَدَا لَهُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَمْ يَكُونُوا يَحْتَسِبُونَ. And it appeared to them from Allah that which they didn't even take in account. We think like we have a prayer, we have things, you come to Allah, you find nothing. Where is my prayer? Nothing was accepted. وَبَدَا لَهُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَمْ يَكُونُ. They were not even thinking that they're going to find such a thing. But you see how vulnerable, how very, subhanAllah, shaky all our life if you don't take it like seriously. And this is an opportunity in Ramadan. The practical aspect with which we'll finish is to regard Allah's command with veneration and high esteem. That's the first thing. Salah, it's not like a salah. No, the salah. When you go to pray, it is the prayer. So when you say Allahu Akbar, just implement Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. Greatest than you, greatest than your business, greatest than your family, greatest than anything. So leave everything. You might not have khushu', but the action of mindfulness that you're going to start to pray, that's something big. It's something big. It's a gift. If you try to introduce such concept into our life, then we will be able, inshallah, to be on the path of the ihsan. And to be mindful when you read this ayat, then it's going to be like having an effect in you. What Sulaiman did, he has the great veneration for the salah. He was watching these horses, a parade of horses. Imagine a king, how many horses he has. And he was enjoying seeing these horses. And then, subhanAllah, he realized that the sun is setting, which means he missed Salat al-Asr. What are you going to do? It's in the Quran. The veneration of the order of Allah. That's what make you true believers. That's what put life and light into your insight. قال ردوها علي فطفق مسحا بالسوق والعنق. Bring it back. This horse, this valuable horse, this wealth, this dunya distracted me from praying to Allah. And that's what the Prophet ﷺ said. قال من فاتته صلاة العصر كمن أوتر من ماله وولده. The one who missed Salat al-Asr is like he lost his children, his family, and all his money. Hadith Sahih. That's how we need to venerate the order of Allah. If you venerate it and glorify it, then you're going to bring khushu' into your heart. But you say like a salah, let me pray to the dhuhr, I'm coming to you. And then come back. Okay, what's we going to do now? Did you pray? Or do you think that that prayer, it will be cursing the person who did it? Because when it goes out without its respecting the shurut, without khushu', it will be, subhanAllah, wrapped and thrown on the face of the person, and she will tell you, قتلتني or هلكتني هلكك الله سبحانه وتعالى وكما أتى في الحديث. ضيعتني ضيعك الله. You have me to be lost. You disgrace me as a salah. May Allah disgrace you. This is a hadith. This is our reality. So, Sulaiman, alayhi salam, he brought back all the horses. They were the cause of his distraction, and he slaughtered them all. All. Suqi wal aniq. Which they were a pride, they were something like wealth, they become meat to eat and to offer to the poor. And he went through a big fitna. But look, when you venerate Allah, when you glorify His symbols, when you know the meaning of the order of Allah that is an honoring for you, Allah then will bestow upon you all the barakah. And this is what Allah gave to Sulaiman. He get rid of this because he believed that this dunya distracted him from Salat al-Asr to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replaced him because of that khushu', because of that fear, because of that veneration. He replaced him greater than all the horses. And that's the beauty. He replaced him with the wind that traveled for a whole month. I mean, the first one who flew, it was Sulaiman. He put like a big, rag, and he get all his, people, and it comes, subhanAllah, to take them out. The wind. Say, where do you want? And Sulaiman command the wind to fly with him. قَالَ رُخَاءً حَيْثُ أَصَابَ. You know what is رُخَاءً? When it lands It does not like comes and land them like fall. Rukha'an comes down. In a way that it's in a very fashionable matter. You see? He gave for Allah. He showed the dedication. He showed the sidq. Allah gave him better than the horses. فَسَخَّرْنَا لَهُ الرِّيحَ تَجْرِي بِأَمْرِهِ رُخَاءً حَيْثُ أَصَرَ وَالشَّيَاطِينَ كُلْ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make him to be subservient the jinn of the shayateen, building for him things and palaces and things like nobody can imagine. Why? Because of that veneration in the heart, because of that ihsan, because of that khushu', because of that khudu'. For may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put and instill in our heart veneration and gratefulness and glorification to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you can do it in a practical way by starting to venerate your salah. فَاجْعَلْنَا اللَّهُمَّ مِنَ الْمُصَلِّينَ اللهم من الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويحافظون عليها ويديمون فيها واجعلنا ربنا من الذاكرين وإلى الصلاة يرحمون.